All right, guys, today we're going to take a look at two well-known angle relationships in geometry. So we're looking at page 32 in your note packet if you'd like to follow along with our note sheet. And as you see in the visual here, we've got those, again, well-known angle relationships. The first would be complementary, and this is what the picture on the left here is showing you. Angles are said to be complementary when the sum of their measurements add up to 90. So basically, you have two angles, and when you put them together, you equal 90 degrees. So again, they're complementary. These measurements, or these angles, happen to be right next to each other, and you can see that together they form a right angle, which again is 90 degrees. So we could figure out their measurements, and they're said to be complementary. So again, both of them put together gives us the right angle. So if I looked, I could maybe say that this one was like, let's say 70 degrees, which would mean this one has to be 20 degrees. Because again, I would be picking numbers or choosing numbers based on the idea that when I add them together, I get to 90. So we could also choose the values of, let's say this one is 60. That means down here for angle 2, this one would have to be 30 because again, the sum of the two angles has to equal 90 degrees. Supplementary is our other type of angle relationship we're going to take a look at today, and its kind of distinct features when the angles are adjacent or next to each other, they form a straight line. And if you remember from the last topic that we looked at, straight lines are 180 degrees. So that's part of our definition for supplementary angles. Two angles that are added together and give you a sum of 180 degrees are considered to be supplemental to each other. They're supplementary angles. So just like kind of we did with complementary, again, the two numbers that you see for angle 1 and angle 2, when you add them together, have to equal 180. And again, you can see in this picture that they equal that straight line on the bottom. So again, that visually shows you also that it is 180. So let's say this one was 120. Again, you should notice that it's larger than a right angle. It's an obtuse angle, so it needs to be bigger than 90 degrees. So if this angle 2 over here measured 120 degrees, what would be the measure of angle 1? Well, again, the whole thing is 180, so if we take away 180 minus 120, we find that it's 60. Because again, when I add them up, 60 and 120 do in fact equal 180. You could also have, let's say if I made this 100 over here, what would be my measure of angle 1? Well, again, I know the whole thing is 180, so 180 and we take away 100, it's going to leave us with 80 degrees for measure of angle 1. So that's kind of what we're taking a look at. Visually, can you identify whether it's a complementary angle or a supplementary angle relationship? And can you find unknown values? So some examples here for you at the bottom of your note sheet. We're going to work through, and first, for line A, we're going to describe or state what type of angle relationship we see. Is it complementary, C, or is it supplementary, S? And then from there, find the value of X for each of them. All right, so looking through, let's start with this first one. You should notice that it's got a straight line here at the bottom, which means it is 180 degrees. According to our definition, that is supplementary. To figure out the measurement, again, 180 degrees, if I take away 150, so 180 minus 150 is 30. So the value of X in this problem is 30. Looking at the example right below it, here's your clue. That right degree, or that right box, which is 90 degrees is complementary. Figuring out the measure of X, again, the whole thing is 90. If I take away 40, it's like you chop off this top angle here. 90 minus 40 gives us 50. And again, you can always double check yourself by saying 50 and 40, what does that add up to? 90. So you know you're correct. Looking at this next one here, straight line, which means 180 degrees. So according to our definitions, it is supplementary. And to figure out the value of X, again, supplementary is 180 degrees. If we take away this little smaller angle of 40, so 180 minus 40 is 140. And again, I could check and say 140 plus 40, yep, that gives me 180, so you know that you are correct. All right, the three on the right-hand side here, top one. Straight line again here at the bottom, guys, so that's 180 degrees, which is supplementary. 180 minus 135, 45. Next one down, here's our clue. It's got that right degree symbol. So right angles are 90 degrees, which is complementary angles. If I take 90, because that's the value of complements, right, and a 90-degree angle, so 90 minus 55, we're going to take away what we do know to find out that missing part that we don't. So 90 minus 55 is 35. And last one, guys, here for today. Again, here is a picture clearly indicated by 90-degree angle, so that should clue you into 90 degrees when we add them up is complementary. 90 take away 80 is going to give us the value of 10 for our x. So that's what you're taking a look at today, is practicing identifying visually what type of angle relationship it is, whether it's complementary equaling to 90, or whether it makes a straight line and is supplementary, and having the added sum of 180. So your assignment for today is on page 34 of your packet. There are, I think, 9 problems. We're going to do pretty much the same thing. You're going to identify in your mind, you don't have to write it down, what type of angle relationship it is, but I do want you to find the value of x at each of the pictures. So good luck. Reach out if you need any help.